Good morning, everyone, and yay, it's Friday. The weather's a bit dismal outside, so yeah. Sorry, that's just how I'm feeling at the moment. It's I feel like I'm full of cold. Hiya, Nick. You're the first one here. Yay. I have got my coffee. Hiya, Emily. How are you? Yeah. It's just one of them days today. Mr. P went to the hospital for his appointment yesterday, and obviously, yes, they took the grommet out while he was there, like literally sucked it out of his ear. It hurt him a little bit, but basically, they retested his ears afterwards and said it's not made an iota of difference. So that were a waste of time. Basically, they've discharged him. There's nothing else they can do for him. So, waste of time going through all the rigmarole of having the grommet fitted in the first place, because it's done jack, basically, if you know what I mean. Not done nothing. Hiya, Vicky, how are you? So yes. So he wasn't too pleased about that he's gone through all. You're amazing. Why? Morning.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
I've just said I just feel the same this morning. I'm not tickety boo, but I'm not poorly. But it just seems like one of them days, isn't it? Oh yeah. No, it doesn't have to have it replaced or anything, Nick. I've just been telling everybody. As you know, Chris went back to the hospital yesterday for an ear, nose, and throat consultation, blah blah blah, because it had this grommet fitted. I think it's about 2 years ago or thereabouts. Not quite sure. But after a year, it's supposed to drop out. But when they were having all the problem with his jaw, he went to the doctors and she says, well, it's still there, but it's wedged sideways.
Oh, wow.
So basically, while he was there, I mean, we anticipated him having to go back in, like as a day patient, because when they did it, they had to put him out. When he went in the morning and we're out for tea time. But hiya, boss man, do you want an invite up? Yeah, they actually like sucked it out, he says, and then prodded inside with a thing to, get it out. So he says it were a lot of prodding and poking. It were quite painful. But then they sort of retested his ears, found out, done jack all, basically.
Hasn't done anything at all to have it.
No, not a thing. It was same as what it was before he had it done. So basically they've discharged him, saying, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do for you.
Holy cow.
But you see, the whole point of going through all this process was when he had his medical at the job that he's doing now, he says, and he says, he says, I've been like it since I were little. I had a lot of ear infections, and obviously that must have damaged my hearing. So basically they said to him, well, we can improve it by fitting these grommets, but it's done, Hiya, Mustang, how are you? So yeah, it's done jack shit, basically.
Yeah, great.
Same as he said, it were a waste of time having them done it first place. It meant he'd got to have a day off work. You've got to put him under anaesthetic, etc.
And it did nothing.
And it's done nothing.
Good morning, everyone.
And then he had to go through the process of sucking it out and prodding and poking in his ear yesterday. Yeah, Nick says his brother had grommets when he was a kid. Well, you see, I think really, I mean, in all fairness, I think Chris should have had them when he were a kid.
Probably it would have done better. Is he
Yeah.
off again today, or is he?
Oh no, he's straight back at work.
Oh,
But
boy.
yeah, you know, same as I say, he said it was like he went to see the consultant. They asked him if he'd had any problems, and he told them about the problems he'd had. And he says, I did go to the doctor. She examined me ears. She said the grommet's still there, but it's wedged in sideways. So so basically, he says, well, in a nutshell, it's got to come out.
Yeah, they've got to. Yeah.
Yeah, they basically said, well, it's got to come out, but he expected sort of send him another appointment to go under anaesthetic because it's like right down in your eardrum. But
Yeah.
I will say you don't feel ill. It's just that it were a bit, he says, same as he said, it was very, very uncomfortable. And the fact that they like sucked it out, but then had to get an implement in his ear to like actually hook it out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He said it was a lot of prodding and poking and it was very, very uncomfortable.
Oh, brother.
But yeah, so.
I know it's taking it. Oh, wow. Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, at end of the day, here's a question.
Yeah.
Or you Alkies.
No,
I don't know what he's insinuating, and I'm no Alkie because I hardly touch it.
Yeah. I don't
I
drink either. What's that?
I drink. I do drink at the moment. I'm drinking 1 drink a night, but it's not very strong.
Yeah. How are you?
Just for my cider challenge. Hello. What? Hello. Hello.
How
Hello.
are
Hello.
you today, Mr. Bossman?
Touch wood. I'm okay at the moment. Touch wood.
Awesome.
Someone's knocking at the door. But this is a good one. I never saw Emily's live stream, and by the time she'd gone off. And exactly same with yours. I was by the time I got there, you'd gone.
Yeah.
Well, I streamed for literally just under an hour, 2 minutes under an hour, and my headache came back last night, and I was feeling lousy.
I did watch a bit of
But
it.
at the moment-
You know, you did say something to the effect of, I might go on for an hour. It all depends how I feel, you know, blah, blah, blah. It says, this is Bossman's question. Is cider okay to drink past its sell-by date?
Yeah, I would say so, as long as it's not too past its sell-by date. At least if it's like a couple of weeks or a couple of months after, it should be okay, because it's, you know, it's a load. Most of those best before dates are a load of codswallop anyway.
It says it's in cans as well, so
it should be all right. Just open a can and just sniff it and pour a little bit and taste it, and if it tastes good, then throw it away.
That sounds a bit good. Sniff it.
Yeah.
Or
If
you
it
can
smells
always
sour,
sniff
don't
your drink.
drink it.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's like if I'm a bit iffy about milk or anything, first thing I do is sniff it anyway. Hiya, Kyle. How are you?
Oh yeah, Emily, I've just joined your song thing the one you posted on Shmuel the other day. It's not very good because of the person who joined in with you before me. He sang it out right wrong. Put me off big time.
Yeah, I haven't joined yet. I'm supposed to.
Yeah, be warned, there is a bloke on it.
You can't taste the difference, so obviously it's not off.
No.
Because if you can't,
You're all right then.
yeah.
You're all right. As if you start talking and foaming at the mouth, then if you start talking.
But I tell you one live stream I did catch, and it was Choppers last night.
Oh, good.
All right.
Yeah, and
So
it was like some o'clock in the morning.
So he's still alive then?
Oh yeah,
Did you
hi Marie.
I thought he was going to go off walkabout.
I'd well, I mean, he says he had a crate of cider given to him because it was out of date. I mean, Pixie had grabbed it with both hands. You know, I'm just
So
saying.
Exactly.
Don't want it, send it here.
You know,
I'll do it for my.
when it's free, just grab it.
Exactly. You can't get free very often. Dan.
No. We see Joy, that's Chris's friend that comes with the little one.
Yeah.
I mean, she always like goes over the top when she's buying alcohol at Christmas.
Yeah.
And she hardly ever drinks. Well, she very rare. I mean, she came and picked us up I think it were the day before Christmas Eve, because she was having a party.
Yeah.
At her house. Now it was her own party, yet she never drank a drop that night.
Yeah.
And because so Chris could have a drink, she came and picked us up and brought us back.
Aw, well, that was nice of her.
Well, you should be all right then, Nick.
Yeah, I'm going to say, bearing in mind, I've been drinking Carlsberg that's been in the fridge that's 12 months out of date, and that tastes okay.
Yeah.
You
So if your friend has any more freebies, Nick, send them Pixie's way.
Exactly. You get anything else for you?
Yeah, you can send the beer to Pixie, send the cider to me.
Yeah. So anyway, same as I say, she always like goes over the top. She like literally buys everything.
Yeah.
So, hi, Crimson. Sorry, I must have missed you. Do you want an invite?
Hey, Crim. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
No,
Sorry, I missed you. We were deciphering Nick's whether it's ciders out of date or whatever. Otherwise,
you know what women are like, Gaff.
yeah,
You know.
I'm really sorry. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes
Excuse me.
people.
You know what women are like. Thanks, Adam.
Men are just as bad.
It's true, though. Well, it's true, though.
Not all the time. No.
So going back to the stuff, yeah, Joy overindulge. Well, not overindulges, but she overorders or buys in excess.
Yeah.
So anyway, so when like in the new year, she always brings Chris a case of whatever over.
Right.
Yeah. Emily's on your case as well.
Weren't on the panel. You weren't on the panel.
So, but
trying to organize.
Crimson never answered my question. Did he want an invite onto the panel, or I did send him an invite yesterday, but he messaged me and said he fell back to sleep.
Hey, how are you?
Then he told me yesterday, I invited, he turned up also too late for my live stream because he was at the police station getting a background check. I don't believe a word of it. I think he got arrested.
No, it told me he did say
he had to get a background check.
Yeah, because
for his second job, he had to go and get a security background.
Like,
alcohol related,
alcohol and whatever they have to do about that. Hiya, Alex.
Hi, Alex. It is almost the weekend, unfortunately, but never mind. Hey ho.
And if Chris is still here, I don't know whether you're interested or not, but he is doing an interview with Chris and myself tonight.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I don't know what time.
What time?
Well, basically, he messaged me last night and it were about 9:45, because we had sort of spoke about it during the day. And he says, is it too late? And I says, well, yeah, really, because Chris obviously gets up early for work. So I says it'd probably be better tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Whereas he don't have to get up for work Saturday morning, you see. So it don't really matter how late it is Friday. Well, within reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But Same as we said, had it gone on for an hour, that had been 11:15, 11 o'clock time. And same as we said, it was getting quite late. So, and he hasn't said anything. So I don't, he's probably gone off in off. Have you gone off in off, Mr. Crimson?
Oh.
He said to me when we were sort of messaging after my live stream, when he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I was going to click on it, but I was too late." He said he might interview me at some point, so that could be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Did you see his interview with Kate, though?
Yes.
I saw
It took about 5 minutes before it turned into Crimson Chat.
Well, we assume that that's sort of what the chatted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Marie says she's going back to bed.
Oh. Okay. Bye, Marie.
Who's writing Adam's label and my hand was a kill? Oh dear.
Oh boy.
We see that's the aim of you're supposed to rest it, Emily. When you've got an injury like that, you're supposed to rest it.
I got a joke for Emily. Emily,
it doesn't help if it's the hand you write with. It's a shame it's the hand she writes with. You should have used, next time you punch something, Emily, use your other hand.
Well, you don't think about these things when you're punching things. You just punch it and think about it.
You need to think from now on, Emily.
Yeah, okay. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, Nick says there's two types of DBS check, and one's a standard and one. We see Chris has had to go through that because at one point he used to be a carer,
right?
And it was for the like Nick says, like vulnerable adults, but it was like it was a residential care home, but it were like schizophrenics and Down syndrome and several other
yeah,
things.
Right.
I years ago had to have an enhanced DBS check because I was working with. I was a chaperone for sort of young children in sort of theatre, in the theatre, so I had to have the enhanced.
But you see, Chris had to have that because obviously we're working with like vulnerable. There were some that were, I mean, they weren't. Some of them were youngsters, but they were like ranged in age, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, basically, he had to have one. Well, they were called CBS or something before when he.
They were CBS. Yeah, that's what they used to be called.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it were criminal background. Somewhere.
Yeah.
So criminal background, some or survey or some, I don't know, but it were like same as I say. And when he left there, he actually went to work in a like a care home for elderly people, but the check's still the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to have them done.
So basically, I mean, it's the same sort of check, but it don't matter, whether it's elderly or, vulnerable adults, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to have one done too, just because, like, you have to have one done for caring for the elderly, for kids, whatever. Like, I volunteered last year to help for the vocational Bible school for the kids, but they call it camp now, right? But they asked you to get a police check because you're working with children, right? So they got to make sure that you have a good, clear record.
Well, this is it. I mean, the reason why they do these checks is to make sure, one, that you're not a sex offender or anything.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or you've not had any criminal background as regards it regarding abuse or anything like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, same as Chris says, when we came back, because we lived in Great Yarmouth, when we came back here, it was intent that it wasn't going to go into the care industry,
right?
Because you have to work Christmas Day, you know, basically any day's a normal day to them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So his intentions was, I'm not going to do caring anymore, even though he loved it and he loved, you know, the actual job, but it was just the hours, you know, the working Christmas Day and whatever. And he says, I'm going to stick to like a 9 to 5 or 8 till 4 or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, so it you know, it was intent he wasn't going to do that, you know, even though like he got his qualifications and everything, you know, because they like do a stage by stage. I mean, it does actually know a girl that he worked with that's gone on to nursing.
Yeah.
So
it's
basically,
a tough field, though, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she wanted to better herself, and she went as far as she could within the care industry, as regards, you know, qualifications, etc.
Yeah.
But then it sort of bettered her so she could go to nursing college, and now she's a nurse.
Yeah, that's good though, because I mean, it helps. It pushes you along. It gives you that experience, and you know.
I mean, she was only a young girl.
Yeah.
And same as Chris says, you know, if you can better yourself and you can be more productive in a job that you care about, then, you know, you're young enough to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Let me know if you want an invite up onto the panel. Yeah, well, that's it as well. Emily says she had to have a CRB check at uni, as I had a placement at school. Well, this is it. Same as I say, any school, anything to do with youngsters or caring or whatever, you have to have the CRB check.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it is quite a rewarding field.
It is.
I mean, because there were this one guy, and he were only a young fella, but when Chris was doing the caring, I think he got ADHD, was schizophrenic and everything, and he did kick off big style.
Yeah.
But there was only Chris and this other guy that could do anything with him.
Oh, wow.
I was in a can't be arsed mood today.
That's really. Guess what's just come through on my computer now? You started ages ago. I've just had a notification through about you going live.
Oh, she was a music teacher. But yeah, you know, I mean, there were the others sort of used to go and hide from him. That's sort of like what his moods used to be like. And he, you know, in end, they had to have him sectioned because it was abusing the other, you know, patients, like physically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where, you know, they had to have him sectioned under the Mental Health Act because he was out of control, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick says it's long hours working in it is. And that's one of the reasons why Chris said, I you know, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. Even though he loved looking after people, he couldn't, you know, mentally and physically do it anymore. He says, you know, the too long hours, you know, you're going from one shift to another because they did all 3 shifts. And yeah, and same as Nick says, it's crap pay. It's like just like barely above minimum wage. So, you know, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and the things that you have to do, you know, I mean, some of the things that Chris has told me, you know, it's,
you know what though, it is hard because I see, like, going to visit my mom, I see what they have to put up with. And even just walking down the hall, seeing the state that some of the seniors are in and stuff like that, it's really hard to watch.
yeah.
There's a lady that my mom gets annoyed really quickly, right? She doesn't have a lot of patience. She never really has. But there's this one lady that tries to talk to her, and she can talk. Like, she'll say to you, "Oh, how are you?" You know, blah blah blah. But she said when she gets to her B's and stuff, it comes out and she'll do that for a minute, and she can't get it out.
Hi, Panther
And my
Studio.
mom's like, "Oh, I wish she would just be quiet," you know. And I'm like, "Mom, she can't help it." "Oh, yes, she can. Like, this is my mom, right?" I'm like, "All right, I'm not gonna argue with you, but it's, you know." But there's this one lady. Her name is Denise, and she's such a, oh my gosh, Jeanette, I fell in love with her. I call her my bestie all the time. I walk in there, and she's 50 something, but she's had a major stroke.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's like this most of the time, right? But she sees you, she's like, "Oh, hi, I love you." You know, you can barely understand her some days, but she's amazing, right? And I go, "Hey, how's my bestie today?" She goes, "Oh, my bestie." And she's like, she's so sweet, but she can be kind of like, when I'm trying to visit mom and stuff like that, she's always right there like a dirty shirt. And it does become a little bit annoying sometimes because I'm like, okay, the nurses need to come in and go, "Okay, they're visiting Denise. You need to, you know, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
But, you know, my mom says to her one day, we're sitting there having a conversation. She goes, "Denise, do your parents know where you are?" And I'm like, Mom. You know? I really.
Well, you see, the thing is as well, I mean, I've got an auntie that's got, I think she's, it's either dementia or Alzheimer's, one of the two. And she got so bad that children decided to put her in a nursing home.
Yeah.
Now, it's got to a stage now, well, just before my mum died anyway, because my mum used to visit with her other sister.
Right.
And it sort of got to the stage where she don't know anyone, even her own children.
Yeah.
But she's also started getting violent as well.
Yeah.
Hi, DMs, how are you? But yeah, you know, and it's sad, really, that she doesn't even recognise her own children, and the fact that, you know, the staff were basically, every time the children went to visit her, they were having to have a word with them about, you know, it's getting to the stage now where basically they're having to keep her in a room away from the other residents because she's also getting violent with it as well.
Yeah. Some do go that way. Yeah.
Yeah. DM's mix up says, "Doing okay, it's payday."
Oh, jeepers. Well, see, the one lady, I know I'd mentioned this before, but the one lady that my mom was in the room with, that Betty that I told you that kept dragging her off the toilet, she seems great now. But it's, for some reason, it's just after a while, she comes like, "What are they doing here? Why is everybody here? What's going on?" And she gets so confused that she gets angry and she starts going after people, right? But yesterday when we, or not yesterday, day before yesterday when we were there, people were like, or she was like, she was great. She was joking around with me. There was they were putting a new air conditioning unit in the cafeteria for them because it's been so hot. And we're sitting there. Betty goes, "Who's that?" And he's like, I'd say he's maybe like William's age, right? 20, maybe 25. And I go, "Oh, Betty," I said, "that's one of the workers putting in the air conditioning unit." She goes, "Ooh." She goes, "You should ask him to take you to dinner like this." And I went, "Oh, Betty, he's too young for me, right?" And she goes, "Oh, I bet he doesn't like grandmas either." She says, "I'm like, Betty."
Oh dear.
But see, she can be great some days, but then other days she snaps, you know. So that's, you really need to be careful with people like that, right? Like you have to, you know that at any point they can snap.
Well, this is it. Some as I say. I mean, you know, and same as I said. Being realistic, you know, you think, well, I hope I don't get like that in a way.
Yeah, I hope I don't either.
You know, because when it gets to the point where you don't even know your children, and you've sort of,
yeah,
you know, it must be hard going to see your mum and not recognizing you. You know what I mean? It's very, very, very hard. I mean, I'm lucky in that respect that, you know, my mum had still what I call got all the faculties about her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it is hard. She knows me right now, and I think because in the last couple of years, I've done nothing but every time my dad needed to go out with her or anything else in the last few years, I've gone. I've been with them no matter what. I'm always there. You know, I'll take them out for lunch or vice versa. We have a great time, but I've always been there. So fortunately for that, she knows who I am. She's always begging to have me there. Where's Vicky? She needs to come do my nails or this, that, and the other thing. So at least that part of it. But what bothers me sometimes is she gets my dad and my brother mixed up.
Yeah.
Says she calls my dad Rick and calls Rick Rich or Richard and whatever, and mixes them up. But the funny part is my brother's bald and my dad's not. So we wonder why she's getting them mixed up. But it's in that
but
sense,
it's all part and parcel of the disease, though, isn't it? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but she gets them mixed up all the time and stuff like that. But I mean, in that sense of it is, I'm there more than my brother is. And she's always asking my dad, who's Eunice's wife? Now, Eunice is my sister-in-law. Or who's Eunice's husband? What's Eunice's husband's name again? And I said, what, your son, Rick? Oh, yeah, him. I'm like, all right.
Well, changing the subject, I was watching the news this morning, and they're trying to pass a bill in Scotland to outlaw parents smacking the children.
Oh boy, that'll go over well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that here.
They've tried doing that down here as well.
But they did say it's just a bill at the moment. It hasn't been passed, but they went out into the public, and it's like the law trying to tell parents what they can and can't do.
That's basically what they do. I mean, we can spank our kids here. However, it can't be anything that'll lift their feet off the ground type of spanking. And
and I just, Emily's just said, a smack never hurt me, and I turned out okay, and that was the majority of what the people.
Not sure about that, Emily. Not sure about that, Emily. You are a bit special. We know you got smacked, but now you're good at punching, though, Emily. I'm not really.
Nick says, funny story, our lifts were always breaking down. They just needed resetting. So it was down to maintenance to reset them one day. All the maintenance crew got stuck in the lift 2 hours. We were stuck.
Oh, no.
Oh,
they had to call the fire brigade to rescue.
Well, I mean, the maintenance people were there to do the maintenance on the lift and got stuck in the lift.
Yeah. Holy cow.
But yeah, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, I got smacked as a child.
Yep. Yeah,
You know what I mean? But
Yep.
you know, they're basically saying, you know, if you smack your children, they turn out to be thugs and, you know, violent.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, it can't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I find kids that are ignored by their parents and don't have any rules are 10 times more likely to become have behavioral issues than someone who is disciplined and structured and everything else. But
yeah, I mean, well, it's like a mix of one. You've got to be
consistent.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. You've got to show them love.
Yep.
But then you've got to be strict and discipline them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm in trouble then. I'm in trouble. Emily says she's the most violent person she knows. I'm worried now.
Yeah. But I mean, I gave my kids a spank, but one good smack, and it was nothing that would leave a handprint or nothing like that. It was enough to kind of go, oh, hello, you know? And that
and there's a difference between a smack and abuse. But we on about the thing in the news today, they're trying to pass a bill to make it that you can't smack your children. And if you find to be smacking your children, you can get done for it. Now, I agree there is a difference between a smack and abuse.
Yep.
You know, there's beating the holy crap out of your kids. But, you know, it's, a little smack. It's your way of disciplining your own child, you know, and it's showing them, well, in a nutshell, who's boss. You know, you're the child, I'm the parent.
Yeah.
This is how I was taught as a child, discipline.
Yeah.
As long as you don't leave a mark or a bruise, you're fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, there's a difference in a tap and a punch.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I just did it with the diaper on. It never really did anything because they're like, you know, they look at you and they're like, huh? But at least it kind of woke them up and went, I shouldn't be doing that. But I mean, there's a thing too that, how do I put it? Like timeout worked for my kids. Luckily, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know. Everybody's different.
Let's say, for instance, when your child's growing up, they've got to be. I mean, I'll take an instance. One of my children were a bugger for biting, right?
Oh yeah.
So I had a phone call from, I think it was when he were at nursery or when he first started school. I got a phone call. He's been biting. So you know what I did? When he came home, I says, just give me your hand here a minute. He went like that and I went, and I bit him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he went, oh. I says, right, now you know how that other person feels that you've been biting.
Yeah. I've done the same thing. Yeah, I firmly believe that. You're not going to draw blood or nothing like that.
Oh no. I mean, it weren't. No. It were just to show him. Well, if that hurt you, then how do you think that other person feels when you bit them?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, like I know you would never do that. I'm just saying, like it's enough to let them know this is what other people feel like when you do this to them.
Exactly. So, and I tell you something, Vicky, it worked because they never bit again.
Yep. Same here. Yeah. Austin, he used to get upset and he tried to whack his head off the wall. Right. So one day I let him do it. Hey, mommy, my head hurt. I said, so what did you gain from that? No food. Okay. So stop whacking your head off the wall and you'll feel better.
Well, like me in the cup the other day. I'm not going to do that again.
Well, Adam, did you learn anything from that?
No, yeah. No.
But it's the same principle. You know it hurt you, so you're not going to do that again in a hurry. And you've had a headache for days after, so you're not going to do it again in a hurry. And it was the same, you know, with my son. You know, he were going through a phase where if he couldn't get his own way or anything, he were biting. Or let's say another kid at nursery were playing with something and he wanted it.
Yeah.
And he went through a phase where he were biting. But same as I say, once I bit his hand and I says, right, now you know what it feels like when you bite that other person.
Yeah.
And it worked because he never bit again.
Yep. That's good. Yep. Because you don't want that. Yeah.
So in actual fact, it learned him a lesson that, better not do that because it does blooming hurt. You know what I mean?
Well, see, my sister-in-law babysits. She does home daycare, and there's this one kid where his parents let him do whatever he wants, and then when she's taking care of him, he fights her. He gets upset. He does this. He does that, and she's like, "I'm not going to sit there and fight with him the way you do. Either you change things and try and, you know, discipline him a little bit more, or I can't watch him anymore." And they said, well, no, we let him do what he wants because that we don't have to fight with him and this and that. And I said, well, there's your problem right there. I said, I would let them go and say, sorry, you're on your own.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I would do anyways. I feel bad for them and for my sister-in-law because it's money she's missing out on, but she can't keep a child in the house that's going to constantly cause trouble like that.
Yeah,
right?
because the parents are letting them get away with whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's sort of better off, you know, that money short rather than having to deal with a kid that gets its own way 100% of the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Nick says, I fell out with a friend over smacking my child. She had a go at me because I smacked him because he was messing with the electric socket.
What?
Yeah. He says, I pointed out a smack won't hurt him, whereas an electric shock could kill him. At least he's still here. Well, this is it.
Exactly.
And you know, I mean, when you say a smack, I mean, like me, it was just like a quick...
A pat.
Yeah, like a quick, you know...
Wasn't
you know,
a smack.
No, not a, you know, full on, but it's teaching them, no, you don't go near a socket because you know it's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And if they know every time that they get a smack, if they go near it, it's wrong, and it teaches them right from wrong. And it's a form of teaching them right from wrong.
Yeah. My parents never disciplined me when it came to it, and I ended up putting a fork in a light socket. So hello. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
Emma. But yeah, no, there's a big difference, and this is the problem. People who abuse their kids and beat the living crap out of them seem to get away with everything. Whereas people like us, we give our kid a little tuft on the behind, and what ends up happening, we get big trouble with Children's Aid, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the saying goes, you have to be cruel to be kind.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's I flying monkey. I'm okay. We're just discussing that on the news this morning. This bringing a bill out in Scotland that it's going to be against the law to smack your children.
Ooh.
How can they actually, you know, make it an actual law? How can they physically go into everyone's house and watch?
They can't possibly enforce it, can they? Because they don't know what's going behind.
Like with people dropping butts or people talking on their phone in the car or whatever, you know. It's
all right. Chris has just put morning all coming home for dinner. Well, what point to me packing your sandwiches this morning then?
Did he forget?
The numpty.
No, it says to me, it says pack me some sandwiches. So I packed him some sandwiches up and everything. And now he says he's coming home from dinner. I bet he's at them, but that's why he's coming home for dinner. Hiya, Balmer Grace.
Hi, Balmer.
But there again, Flying Monkey, I mean, I've brought 4 boys up. But we're not talking about punching up. We're just talking about a little snap. And, I mean, none of my kids have ever been in trouble. And all my kids have been had a smack at one point or other.
Yep, exactly. What's that? Oh, hi, DIY.
I did DIY. But yeah, Nick says they should bring back caning in the schools. But you see,
I don't agree with that one.
No, I don't 100%. I mean, you know, I mean, it's obvious that putting them in, you know, detention or whatever isn't working. They need some.
Well, are you sure, Nick? You said it didn't do you any harm. Are you sure? You are a bit funny. Oh no, that's your joke.
And obviously, he did have the cane at school because he's still here to tell the tale. He says.
Yeah.
So obviously, he was a naughty kid when he was at school. Oh, but I finally got my video up. If you all want to watch, I'd appreciate that. If you've never visited my channel, yeah, I'll take a look after the live stream. But you see, another thing as well. I mean, in my mind, it's going to make it a lot easier for kids to go to social services or go to the teachers and say, well, my mum smacked me or my mum's done this to me. And they could be totally innocent and haven't done anything. It's just a way of a child getting back at the parents.
Yep. Yep, exactly. I think that's what a lot of it is today.
You know, so if it was to be, you know, law that you can't smack your children, you might get a lot of the, you know, when they get to a certain age, when they're in the know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they've had a bit of a ruck with the parents or they've had a bit of a row with the parents, it will be so easy for them to go to school and say, well, my mum smacked me this morning. So by law or by rights, the school has got to report it. So then it gets the ball rolling and they've done it, or it's so easy for them to say, well, my mum's done this or my dad's done that. And I can see, what are you doing up there, mister?
I was just going to say, I just saw...
He's going exploring, that's what it is. I've just seen him in... What are you doing, Tucker? Well, the thing is, he's never ever got up there before. So why he feels the need he's got to go exploring there. But yeah, it's going to make it even more easy for kids to say, well, yeah, my mum hit me this, you know what I mean? When they just doing it to try and get back at the parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Obama says it's been that way there for years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got to be really careful the way you just...
Yeah, and Emma sort of just said what I was saying. Kids nowadays don't care.
Nope.
And report parents to schools even if the parents are innocent.
Yeah,
it's just their way of getting back at the parents if they've had a row or they've had their Xbox or the phone taken away from them. It's so easy for them to go to school and say, well, look, my mum smacked me this morning, or give me a clip round it. Well,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And nothing's happened, you know.
But hiya, Choppers, how are you? But I do agree with Nick in some way. I mean, like, I think national service, because they're dishing out like community service and this, that, and other too freely.
Yeah.
And the younger generation, there ain't no consequences as to getting in trouble. Oh, well, they'll just give me community service or I'll just get a slap on the wrist. I mean, teach the younger generation a bit more discipline. Yeah, for that reason, bring national service back. Hiya, choppers.
Yeah. My son. What? Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah, Bar Magritte said that a son called the DHR. So she got all his clothes together and said he were going back with them.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I had a friend of mine actually put her kids in the car because of their behavior and stuff. And she goes, look, rather than hit you, I'm going to take you down there. And they didn't believe her. She packed them up in the car, brought them right down to children's services, walked them right into the place and said, here you go.
Yeah.
But the lady already knew she was coming.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? They think they've got the hard life. Let's shape it. So they're like, okay, let's go,
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's what you call you've got to be cruel to be kind, and it's tough love.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean? You've got to be cruel to be kind. You know, you're not going to do that again in a hurry.
Yep. I'm not doing nothing wrong to you. You want to call them and report me and everything else? Here you go.
That's it.
Here's the phone.
Yeah. Nick says at least with national service, they have the chance to learn a trade.
Yep, exactly.
And you know, and the benefit system nowadays makes it all too easy from just to sit there and do nothing while they're getting money handed to them without having to work for it.
See, I just read what Flying Monkey said. He said when he was younger, I used to get smacked with a wooden spoon in the back of my legs and sometimes the brush. See, now that I disagree with. That kind of
What I mean, what we're talking about, Flying Monkey, is not sort of that sort of thing, but just a smack with the hand. You know what I mean? But it's like I got it as a child, a swift smack to let you know you're doing wrong, you don't do it again. And it's called discipline.
Yeah, exactly.
Bar Magritte says her kids still call her Sergeant Mom.
Yep. Yep. Holy cow. Well, see, that's what my dad used to call my mom all the time. You know? Yeah, my dad said she was the warden and he was the peace officer.
But yeah, I mean, it's like you've got different parents, if you know what I mean. You've got different forms of parenting. I mean, you've got some that couldn't basically give them monkeys, and like in my mum's day, they used to call them latchkey kids because they, you know, parents were never there. They'd come home, they'd have to get their own dinner, they'd, you know, blah blah blah. Hi, Midnight Raven.
Hi, Raven.
Nick, what's the punishment to actually smoke the whole packet of cigarettes in one go?
Yeah. Right.
Well, you see, I got threatened by my mum and dad that if they ever caught me smoking, they'd wash my mouth out with soap, or if they heard me swearing. I mean, that was sort of my mum's threat to me. If I ever hear any foul language coming out your mouth, I'll wash your mouth out with a bar of soap.
Yeah. See, that's illegal over here now, too. You can't do that either. You can't use soap. And I said, well, fine, I won't use soap. I'll use Tabasco sauce.
Yes, same as Bar Magritte's abuse is one thing, disciplining is another. And I agree with that. Yeah. But you've got the different types of parents, one that couldn't basically give a monkeys and they let the kids run riot. I mean, this is no word of a lie, and I'm sort of on the same subject. I was watching a program on ITV last night, and it was Ross Kemp, Grant Mitchell out of EastEnders, on gun things in Britain.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And basically, they sort of, it went out with the police, and it says there are only 1,500 armed police officers in the British police force.
What?
Right, and that is the whole of Great Britain.
Wow.
There is only 1,500 armed response personnel for the whole of Great Britain. Now, they were saying it's like a 12-week intense course. They go for 12 weeks and they're trained, but they do have to go every so often for like a, you know, an update tester thing. So anyway, then he was interviewing a guy, and he were there with balaclava on and sunglasses, and you know, you couldn't see who he was, and he was a gun smuggler.
Oh boy.
And he said it wasn't the kingpin, but it was, you know, it was the one that organised the guns being smuggled into Great Britain. And he says basically they're selling the guns for between £4,000 and £5,000. So it is quite a lucrative thing. And he says, and he basically said to Ross Kemp, once you get into it, you can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, once you get into, you know, it says, but, you know, and he says, well, look, from this sort of angle, is it worth it if you get like caught smuggling drugs, etc., and the prison time that you have to do for it? And he says, it's just basically part of the course, and it's the job I do.
Yeah.
You know, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and sort of pose this question to him, hadn't you ever thought, well, you know, them guns that you're smuggling in are killing people, blah, blah, blah. And he says, well, and that's when he said, well, put it this way. He says, once you get into it, he says, it's very hard to get out of it.
It is. Yeah.
He says, because if you turn around to the boss and say, well, look, I've had enough, I don't want to do this anymore, he says, you're more likely to end up dead yourself.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Belle is awake this morning. Ooh. Big package this morning.
That's Forbidden Planet. So I can open that afterwards.
They're on about washing the mouth out, we're washing up liquid and whatever, and farting bubbles and whatever. But yeah, it was a really, really interesting documentary. You know, when he basically, the gun smuggler said, you know, it's a case of I can't get out of it, because if I say, look, you're in being in that industry is more of a threat if he were to leave than stay, if you know what I mean. If he were to leave, he could, like, you know, grass on them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Super Pop Bro. But yeah, and then sort of went, sorry.
I just went, hi, William.
Oh. And then he went on to interview gang members.
Yeah.
And basically all of them carried a gun. Nearly every single one.
Oh, wow.
And it were talking to one of these lads, and he says, well, you know, he says, I'd be horrified if I caught one of my kids with a gun, blah, blah, blah. And one of them even said, oh, my mum was tied in my room and come across a gun, tied it up, and then left.
What? Oh, my gosh. Like, no.
So basically knew he'd got a gun and did nothing about it.
Yeah, see, and then that's where I have an issue.
You know what I mean?
Not Emily. Emily's not innocent by a long shot.
Emily, innocent. Yeah.
Sure, and I'm a virgin.
I was going to say now Pamela Anderson.
Yes.
But yes, it was quite an interesting documentary. I mean, it went sort of from all angles, you know, the police angle, the gang members angle, and the gun smuggling angle.
Yeah. Well, that's like
I thought you were going out, Emily.
Nick says you're as innocent as a fox in a chicken coop with feathers hanging out its mouth.
Again, we're always hey, trust me, they get their digs in on me too. Don't you worry.
Well, it's every other day. It's pick on Emily Day, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, but everyone picks on me as well, Emmy. So it's not just you. So you're all right. You should see some of the abuse I get from Nick and DJ Ian and people like that. Emily.
Flying Monkey says, where I live, there are a lot of gang members. I live in a bad area, but I know most of them. And I'll tell you something else as well. Right at the very end, he went to interview this woman and her son had been shot by, in a playground at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And basically what it was, he went through a stage where he were getting very frustrated at school. He'd been diagnosed with ADHD and blah, blah, blah. So he was a bit disruptive at school. So they actually, he had to go to a different school. And when he went to this different school, he got in with some older lads and they tried to pressure him into selling drugs for him.
Yeah.
And basically, his mum says, he used to tell her everything. And he were only 14. This lad was only 14. Hiya, Gail. And basically, he went home. They gave him this bag full of drugs and whatever, pressuring him into selling drugs. And he went home to his mum and he says, Mum, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And luckily, I mean, they got that sort of relationship where he could tell her anything. And she basically homeschooled him and everything. Sent him to live with part of the time live with a dad. And it was while he was living with his granddad, he just went into where this swings and rounds about and everything. To hang out with some kids, and 3:00 in the afternoon, and he was shot.
Yeah.
And this was because he wouldn't deal drugs for them.
Yeah.
And it was really, really sad. I mean, even Ross Kemp, and he's known for being a hard guy. He stood there crying.
Yeah. Emily says, can I have an invite, please?
No. Of course you can.
Hello,
he knows nothing. He's innocent. I believe that. Like, I need another.
Hiya, Gail.
Ian's innocent.
Yeah, come and defend yourself.
You've got no chance. No, she can't defend herself.
But yes, it was really, really interesting. He knows nothing. He's innocent.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got a good laugh out of that one. Ian's innocent. Not a chance.
I think it's Pinocchio. Hi, Vanessa.
Talk to us, Molly. You need to defend yourself by talking.
Yeah.
No, it won't work. I think you can't be on the panel if you can't talk.
I was just about to have a laugh and say, right, that's it, I'm muting her.
She's already muted.
I know.
Gonna cry. She'll be crying in a minute.
That's why I was just going to say, right, that's it, Emily, you're talking too much, I'm muting you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You can't talk. See you later, Em.
Yeah. Go sit in the corner, out the way.
Sit on the sofa all by yourself, hiding.
Gail says, I'm listening, getting ready for the work thingy.
Oh, lovely. Have fun with that, Gail.
Oh, dear.
My quiz at 11 today. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. That was fun yesterday.
You have to start drinking coffee, Vicky, to keep you awake. Just it's a new trial.
I used to drink coffee, and after my second cup, I was like,
No, you'll be fine awake, but you just may not be able to focus.
Yeah. Well, see, then there's no point in doing the quiz if I can't.
I think Pixie and Callum are watching the England game tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
Whoopie do.
Yay! No.
Well, they're in no football like league football because of the international games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
England versus. Oh, cool.
Chopper says he's got a small fridge for my camper, mate. Oh, he's getting all mod cons in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Very
Anyway,
cool.
On his live stream. Yeah,
he'll never have to go home. He'll live. We'll move in.
Will says, wait, there's an England game tomorrow. Yes, it's international something or other. I don't know what it is. But I do know, because Wales beat Northern Ireland last night 4-1, I think it were. Hiya, Laura. Oh, I auntie Jeanette, love Amelia. that's Joy's daughter. That's Joy's daughter.
Oh, hi, Laura.
Hello, Joy's daughter, Laura.
Yeah, getting flash now. He's even bought like plastic cup, a plastic plate, a plastic dish, some plastic cutlery. He's getting all mod cons, you know.
Exactly.
Well, hey.
He says, look, looks like I will be sent home early from work tomorrow then. Yippee!
Well, they have been lately. Who works half a day and then they send them home. It's like...
She said, put, hi, Amelia is just watching you. Hi, Amelia. Woohoo.
Amelia.
Run away, Amelia. Run away. No.
Flying Monkey says he has some Pro Plus tablets. They will keep you awake, and some Red Bull.
Yeah, no thanks. Hey, I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning for coffee morning, and I think I'm entitled to a nap. I just have to learn to set my alarm clock.
It's called Mommy Nap Time.
That's right. My kids are at school and ain't nobody here. Yeah.
So learn that one, Laura. It's called Mommy Nap Time.
Yep.
You never get it, but you know it might. You might do one day.
Yeah, you have to wait till your kid starts high school, then you can have mommy nap time. Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, Laura sent me a photo.
Uh-oh.
But it's a cute photo.
I bet it is. Oh.
Oh, hello.
She's even put a caption on bottom. My Auntie Jeanette. Oh, look at a little coward. Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
And a little Dodie.
Yep.
She's going one eye up and one eye down, as if to say, oh.
Holy cow. Oh, that's good, Choppers. He's got his pantry is full of food and my fridge is getting cold. Get a cold drink back soon. That's good. Like that.
Oh, it was the Republic of Ireland. Sorry. I'm corrected. I know nothing about football, but I know it were Ireland. Yeah. Whether it were Republic or Northern Ireland, whichever. Well, anyway, they got thrashed by Wales 4-1.
Exactly. Other way, they lost.
Oh. She says it was lovely last night. She slept from 9 till 5 and then from 5 to 8. So I had a great sleep. But get it while you can, because once they start teething, Laura, say it, just saying.
Uh-oh.
You know, next thing it'll be teething and she'll have you up for hours, teething, crying. So get your sleep while you can. That's all I'm saying. But yes. And I don't know whether they still do them, but I used to get like powder things to put under the tongue when they were teething. It worked wonders. I forgot what they're called now. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I don't know whether they still do them, but they're like little powder things. They're not, you know.
Yeah.
They sort of herbal. They're not, you know, no way, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But they're like a powder that you put under the tongue, and I gave all mine them.
Oh, cool.
I forgot what they were called now, but I swore by them with all my kids. And these teething rings that you can put in fridge or in freezer, they're good as well.
Oh, they're amazing, actually. Yeah. They're awesome.
I know, going to get my sleep tonight as Nan and Grandad sleep over tonight. When is it when they go? Is it tomorrow that? When is it they go on holiday, Laura? Because I know it's normally around the 8th. So it's sort of about that time, you know, where they're going away. So, I've got sniffles this morning.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he supports Arsenal as well. Flying monkey. Oh, it's Tuesday, is it?
Oh, cool. That's pretty close.
I'm going to say, I know it's normally about this time, and I know they were on about, you know, just had a right result regarding my damaged plane. They knocked some money off, and they are sending some stuff to fix it.
Excellent.
Yeah, Stephen is back as well on Tuesday, so he's looking after the house. Result there, eh?
Yep.
We see Laura and Stephen are twins, Joy's twins.
Oh, okay.
But he lives, is it, I think it's Wales he lives in, but he sort of lives near his dad, whereas Laura lives near her mum. Well, just out road, actually. But anyway, so as I say, so that's good then. Chris nearly had kittens because he was going to go out on the drone last night, but then with the weather, how it turned, he decided against it. So he's like got his thing on charge, and that reminds me I've got to turn it off because he said once it goes off, it's charged, and I've got to turn it off. But yeah, he gets the drone out, and there were like a mark on, I don't know whether one at legs or something. And he went, "Oh my God," he says, "I hope I ain't got a stress fracture in it." He just went, it were a mark on it.
Oh, brother.
And about our kittens, because he says, "Oh God," he says, "I hope this into stress fracture," because like when you get a stress fracture in them, you have to replace the whole body.
Yeah, exactly. That's expensive.
I mean, you know, when it is really expensive. So he nearly had kittens, and then he went, "Oh, it's all right. It's only a mark." Whew, I went, "Whew, thank God for that."
Yeah.
I nearly did that, tell you.
Yeah.
So yes, it was slightly having kittens there. I better text Chris and see if he wants some more sandwiches doing or whether he's still got his sandwiches. But yes, I even packed him a piece of carrot cake up as well.
Ooh.
Here we go.
But I don't.
I'm going to go in a couple.
You,
I'm going to go in a couple of minutes. I'm feeling a bit sort of blur.
and then Liz just turned the sound on.
Oh, I'll stay for a little bit then if she's turned the sound on.
Equinox says he would have had kittens if I joined the other week. It was all in bits. But you see, the difference there, Nick, is you know what you're doing. Chris don't.
Yeah, there's no clue.
You know, he'd have probably took his to pieces and then tried to put it back together and then still had some bits left over. And then he'd probably think, God, where do these bits go? I've missed some somewhere.
Yeah. He's like that guy that puts together the crib and then goes, I wonder where these screws go.
Exactly.
There's a few extras left over that should.
He's not exactly a DIY fan. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, no doubt. He'd rather pay somebody to do it for him.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's like I've got like a wooden pole. Oh, Gordon Bennett.
Put your tongue away, you horrible girl.
But yeah, it's like I've got like a wooden pole where my patio doors is.
That's better.
Who says I didn't have screws left over? and it keeps falling down.
Yeah.
You know, with his idea of DIY, he just bungs this thing back in and knocks it in, and that'll do. But be careful when you're opening and shutting curtains.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your stream. I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye for now. That's all, folks. See you later, flying monkey. But yeah,
that's all.
You know, his idea of DIY is just bunging it back in and hoping it stays up.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You know,
have milk.
sort of just giving you a warning and saying, well, be careful when you're opening and shutting the curtains.
Exactly. All right, Jeanette, I gotta head off, unfortunately, because I have to get Austin up and get the boys off to school.
Okay, then.
But I'll try and stay in the chat as much as I can.
Oh, choke quietly, Emily. Now you've got your sound on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I myself going to have to go shortly because my head's starting to go funny.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you later.
But I'm
Vicky,
all right.
and I'll see you later, Adam. Thank you for coming on anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
DIY, destroy it yourself. Yeah, that's about about it, Nick.
I like that. All right, you guys have a good day.
Yeah, and you too. And thank you for coming on, Vicky.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Never. Wait, let me get my phone.
Oh,
I'm still here for the moment. I'm going to turn my camera off so I can just
okay,
sit
then.
Yep.
chill. So I can still chat.
1, 5, 8, 2, 3, 1, oh. 3,
So,
5,
so
6.
the question is, Emily, because you've broken your wrist, does it give you time off work?
Yes.
I can see Liv here in the background. Equinox says we used to have MFI, made for idiots. Well,
What is that? Wait.
I think Pixie Core comes on in that category.
That is probably advertising.
Not that he's an idiot, just that he.
So you can get
him
rid
and
of it.
DIY don't mix.
I know, man.
Welcome back, Choppers. How are you?
Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
I like to see. I bet
It is a scam.
Check that plan and watch it before now. What is it?
You're a scam, Emily. Are you? I
I
thought you were genuine.
We had a strange number.
Unless it was somebody. Well, I know you do the dogs and this.
Have you had an accident in the last 12 months?
Chris don't do flat pack either.
My boy.
I tried DIY, bit fail. Well, that's Chris. He, you know, he has a go, but he more often than not fails.
01582
Yeah.
Are you back in your camper? Are you?
356.
Don't know. I couldn't find anything.
0158.
Why don't you look it up yourself?
And see, I think it's Bristol.
I don't know.
Area codes. I can't find the area codes. That's with that's right.
If you get a number that you don't recognise, type it into Google and it'll come up if it's a scam or not, if it's genuine.
Yeah. Good old Google.
Got the good one. Hi. Yes, I know you're live.
Yeah, we have a manky god in the house.
Nick says that
Manky's from Manchester, so he's a manky god.
Equinox says top tip: if you're taking things apart, use your mobile and take photos of each day. We still get it wrong. But yeah, it's one of them cases where, you know, our Nick says Mrs. E can't cook, won't cook. It's a case of, you know, can't fix it, won't fix it. Oh, whilst Beach Andy says good evening, all from the Grand Prix circuit, Singapore. Wow. And we know that Choppers likes DIY. I mean, we ought to fly him over here and get everything fixed.
Oh.
But yeah. So are you on vacation then, Andy? Are you doing the rounds, you know? Yeah, it's a case of shouldn't fix it, yeah. Well, this is a good example. I mean, I ordered a coffee table from Argos once, right? Put it all together, right? Fair enough. Put it all together. And then we had to move it somewhere. And he picked it up with a thing and just the, you know, the thing came away from the body. So, you know, just saying. You know, we didn't do all that good a job. You know, it sort of somewhere along the line went a little bit wrong because it picked it up and it just all came away.
A scam, that is probably. Or some advertising rubbish.
That might be that parking ticket thing.
Britannia. I don't know.
So just got here, 01582.
Haven't you got the thing, yeah.
310356.
I don't know. I am not clever.
But you see what makes me laugh about Chris as well is he's got all these power tools. He's got the, you know, drill and electric screwdriver. He's even got a toolbox, but not that it gets you. But you know what I mean? He's got all these, you know, electrical things, like screwdrivers, hammers, and spanners and tool. He's got a toolbox, but it never sees light of day hardly. Let's just leave it at that. If you look back at my photos on Facebook, you'll see stuff I've made or repaired. I'll have to do that. But it's
going past.
Same as I say, he's got all the screwdrivers and drill bits
That's
and
sausage fingers.
you know, bits for this electric screwdriver and everything. He's got screwdriver sets. He's got, you know, spanners and all sorts, wrenches. Just that they don't get pliers, you name it.
Might have a cheeky Costa when I go up there.
Have all the tools. It's a man thing. No, if you don't use them. Well, put it this way. I think they've got cobwebs. You know, that's how often they get used. Hey, we've got Crimson.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, that's Bournemouth.
I'm good. Just still half asleep, you know. But what time is it? It's 6:30.
And it's 11:28 here.
It's only 7th floor, County Gates, 300 Pool Road.
So what are you guys talking about?
Well, we've gone through what's it of things, smacking kids and gun crime and all sorts.
All the juicy stuff.
Yeah, it's one of them things where it, you know, with you know,
it starts off as one topic and then it goes down that road and then you're talking about some deep stuff.
Yeah, on about like working in care homes and things like that. And
yeah, I did that briefly for like 2 years. I worked with a man with dementia. And that, you know, that was quite an experience, you know, like it was like reliving the same day for 2 years.
We're having a God raid. God, the good one.
Oh, God raid.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
I
haven't seen God in a while. I'm glad he's back. It's weird to say that.
Hi to God raid.
Hey, God.
Up to no good, little Llama Laura. That's how I roll. So I do appreciate it. How's Ronnie, Mrs. Pickering? If you're wondering what the reference to Ronnie Pickering is, they were very big in something to do with football anyway. I don't quite know.
Oh.
But,
I thought Ronnie was like, you know, like a secret, like long lost relative or something.
It were like I think it was a football thug. If you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Because everybody says, you know, any relation to Ronnie Pickering, and I often say, well, I don't even know who Ronnie Pickering is, let alone know if I'm related to him.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like when I say it's always good to get rated.
Gail says I thought he was Grandad. No, I think he's, from what Chris has told me, because he's the Pickering, not me. But from what I can gather, it was a thug in the football world. Hi, Spooky Betty. How are you?
Hi, Chris. Hello.
I have to say, Random's latest video, her song cover was really good.
He said, Nick says it was a road rage thing on YouTube.
Oh.
Ronnie was a boxer. Simon and Garfunkel wrote a song about him. Well, that's how much I know about Ronnie Pickering. You know, I thought he were a football hooligan type of thug, you know, like similar to the Craze, you know what I mean?
What? Oh, is it?
So it just goes to show how much I know about it.
Hey, I'm learning too. I'm in the same boat, Jeanette.
Got the, you know, the same surname as me. It's only by association, not, you know. Oh, Nick's put a link in for the...
No self-promotion. Oh,
but yeah, I have heard of him, but I know nothing about him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Would you like to know more?
Not really. He's a baddie.
I don't know. I just said that. Yeah.
You know, guilty by association. That's what springs to mind.
Hashtag Jeanette's keeping it real on the coffee morning today.
Yeah, Chopper says he don't know. Pixie should do a remake. Oh. And
He should.
Emily says, no self-promotion. New spill coming out today with the one and only Boss Man. I've still got
there's a song with... Oh, my God.
I've still got to watch the one that you did yesterday. That sort of...
Okay, you know what threw me off? I was in a new live stream, and there's someone in the chat. I thought it was actually Nightbot, but it was actually someone named Nightbot, and it had the picture.
Hang on a minute. Somebody's knocking at the door, and I think it's a certain Pixie. I'll be back in...
Someone's knocking at a door. Someone's ringing a bell.
Oh,
don't let him in. Whatever you do.
She's locked him out again.
Hooray! No self-promo. I don't have a new video up until later today. Sorry.
Well, I might have an interview later today with the Pickerings.
I know. They
said
they might be interviewing the Pixie.
Oh, they already said, okay, cool. Yeah, it's going to be my first three-way. That's how I'm going to promote it.
His first threesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be interesting to interview two people at once. You know what I mean? Like, I've only done, like, one-on-ones. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting.
I'm back.
And Crimson, I'm definitely up for doing a one-on-one with you. Boom, boom. You're interviewing me.
Exactly.
No, it's not. I did a... What's it?
No.
What?
God came in and did a raid.
Yeah.
And somebody says about he had a relation to Ronnie Pickering. And I says, I don't even know who he is, let alone be related to him.
I get that.
Yeah, we're learning about Ronnie Pickering today.
And
I've got a video on that.
Yeah, Pixie says, Pixie should do a remake that with Nick.
We're remaking that Ronnie Pickering.
And yeah, Adam, yeah, anytime I'm down.
Whenever. Just let me know.
And Mustang Man says, I'm taking a long break. I can't cope with my real life. I get called demented, mongish, spar, weirdo, jump off a hill. No one will care. Tramp ugly. Well, you just have to rise above it. That's all I say. You know,
and you know what? People fear what they don't understand, and if they're calling you weird, that means they just don't understand you. Like, you know what I mean? Be around people that understand you and appreciate you.
Exactly. Take the notice. Vicky says, hi, Pixie, my love. I can't exactly do it like Vicky, but I did it on
Where did the Night Owl go? Yeah, I was wondering who's missing. That Night Owl's not there. Oh, is she in the chat?
Yeah, she's got...
Yeah, she's got to get the kids up for school.
Oh, okay.
Nick says you could do it as a bit of a piss take. Sarati's gone to the little boy's room. Define normal. Well, this is it. I mean, in some way, we all are a bit on the weird side, aren't we? You know what I mean? It's just taking a note.
Speak for yourself, you know. Speak for yourself.
The thing is, everybody can gauge what normal is. Anyone can gauge what normal is, but there's a textbook kind of definition of normal that people try to abide by. You know what I mean?
Well, you see, I look at it this way. We all like a dysfunctional family, aren't we?
We're bastard family, yes.
Gail says I'm not normal. Well, this is what I'm saying. In some way or other, none of us are normal. If you know.
No, we're not. That's why we're creators.
Nick says we all have us quirks and us ways.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have our things that make us us, like that separates us from everyone else. Or else we'd be complete clones. You'd just be a number.
Yeah, and Chopper says, why be normal, be yourself? And Emily, do not say things like that.
What'd she say? What'd she say?
Another broken wrist. She says, what is normal? I've never been normal. I wear men's clothes and play the guitar. That's just who you
Loads
are.
of women play men's clothes. But I don't. But I won't. I don't wear women's clothes.
Like personally, if I was a chick, I'd wear men's clothes too. It's more comfy. Like I wouldn't want a thong up there. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you see, the thing
Or
is, as a rule, I don't wear dresses. I occasionally do, but I don't. You know, I don't wear
exactly.
Dresses either.
I know.
No, there's no like set boxes anymore. You can do whatever, you can play whatever kind of music, you can dress however you want, and you can be whatever gender. Like we're in a time that, you know, technology's here.
Well, this is it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, why not explore? But mind you, it's not for everyone, you know, but
You know, I mean, I wear jogging buttons, you know.
You want some stories, do it.
Okay, I'll give you guys a little secret. I used to use female, like, you know, like the disposable razors on my face because, like, it would really cut my face up if I used other ones.
Nick
but
said,
yeah, we all have our things.
The Dudley Destroyer, so I wouldn't worry.
Oh. There's somebody cruising for a bruising.
And Chopper says he don't have the legs to wear dresses.
I've got to say,
I think he does. I think he's a thigh guy.
Put that down.
Chopper's got thighs for days.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
Baby.
Oh my, oh my.
Oh my.
I'm loving the oh my's here. I just have this big grin.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you know, it's each to their own, whatever they feel comfortable in, you know.
Right.
Nick, I bet you look rather fetching in high heels, Choppers.
Like my grandmother, she always has to wear like dresses. Like even in the morning, like she'll get up for like a cup of coffee. She'll have like a dress and like she'll be all like proper, going to like the garbage, taking the garbage out. That's just her. You know, she feels comfortable doing that. So it's like
we did have the discussion about the New Year's Eve thing this year, as the men dressing up as women and
not a chance.
I thought we forgot about that, but sure.
or Victorian tarts or whatever. You know. Nick says I found women's knickers chafe. Well, that's what he said. I'm only reading out what he said.
Oh my God.
This is not a confessional, Nick.
It might be.
Why don't we just drop our confessions anyways? Let's just do this.
Say, you get mixed up
Why
with
do you keep that for the late night interview stream?
Gail said you've been dressing up as a woman.
Who?
You.
Have I done? No. I've only done it in Jib Jab. She saw one of my latest videos. Yeah, I was a woman in one of them.
Crims will win. Yeah, now it's coming out. He says I ran out of boxers.
I have the bone structure to be a great woman. However, I choose not to be.
But you see, the thing is, even if Pixie ran out of boxes, rather go commando than wear a pair of mine.
I could see Pixie getting like, you know, like the bathing suit and like wearing the bathing suit over the jeans, like when he doesn't have underwear.
But
I'm just joking.
Wearing a thong, you might as well not wear out at all.
he says he draws the line at women's bras, doesn't he? But yeah, if it come to shove and he'd run out of boxes, I think he'd rather go commando than wear women's thongs. Or just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would resort to that. How about you, Adam?
What about me? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. About wearing women's underwear. No, you're all right, Steve.
I don't know. I was just saying, like, would you rather like go camo or wear women's underwear if you had to choose?
Obviously, go commando.
No.
Definitely wear Nout if I had to choose of the two.
I'm going to say that'd be Chris's choice. He'd rather go commando than wear a pair of women's.
Not like a nice frilly lace joint, you know, like that. No.
I'm laughing at what Chopper's just put. It says, I have a pair of thongs. They look good on my feet. They call what we call flip-flops. They call thongs.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my god.
Gail says, right on the underwear note, I'll see you all later. Oh dear.
Bye, Gail.
Oh, here's a question. Here's a question for you. Right,
What?
which do you like of these best? Do you like sausages in a bread roll, fried egg in a bread roll, bacon in a bread roll, or black pudding in a bread roll? You have the choice of four of those four. Which would you choose?
Bacon all day long.
Bacon.
All that.
What do you prefer in a bread roll? Sausages, egg, bacon, or black pudding?
Everything barring the black pudding.
Can you like mix and match? Can you put like, you know, like some sausages and bacon on it?
You can do what you like, Crims, baby. Do what you like, Crims, baby.
Yes.
There's everything in black pudding.
I'll have everything, including Chris's black pudding.
Yeah, and Nick says all of it, every single one. We don't do black pudding.
We don't do the like. I was gonna ask, given you know, like I'm the foreigner here, what's black pudding?
Pig's blood.
Pig's blood.
Yeah, I can see why. No, we don't do black pudding over here. That's not a common thing, from what I know.
Nick says brown or red sauce. Well,
you call it something else there.
Brown or red
do call
sauce.
it something.
I prefer red sauce. Pixie prefers brown sauce.
HP.
But it's got to be HP.
Oh, HP sauce. Yeah, we have that.
I prefer no sauce with a bacon or sausage sandwich if I have a choice. No sauce. But I don't mind. But if I had to choose, it would be red ketchup. But I prefer no sauce.
Yeah, I only put like sauces and stuff. You only put like sauce to me, like if like you know, like the meat is dry. Like if it's dry and stuff, like you need some sort of kick to it. That's when I'll put like hot sauce.
Yeah, Nick says when you come to the UK, Crimson, you'll have to try black pudding. I don't think you'll like it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, basically,
but I'll try it. I'll try it anyways. We can get it on camera, my face.
Yeah. Well, basically, the it's like pig's intestine.
Well, not exactly. That pudding isn't pig's intestine. It's basically you've got in it. You've got pearl barley. You've got various sort of other bits and pieces, and it's just like made into a sort of sausage, and it's got pig's blood and stuff into it. It's lovely. So you'll love it.
The actual casing of the black pudding is made out of a pig's intestine.
Whoa.
Not always.
Like I'm not
judging.
But like my first impression of it, I'm like, that's dark. But then in the second impression, I'm like, that could be a delicacy. Yeah, I'm looking at that. But then at the third one, I'm like, maybe I'll try it.
Well, it's like in Scotland.
It's a bit like haggis. It's a bit like haggis.
Yeah, I'm going to say in Scotland,
okay.
the delicacy there is haggis. Now, it's like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. Now, to me, that don't appeal to me either.
Yeah, there's different cultures that have different things that are just like, yeah, like I don't know how they eat that.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's lovely, Crimson, but it's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, after the fourth or fifth one, you're like, yeah, give me some pig's blood.
But you don't notice it doesn't actually.
I'll definitely try it though. I'll definitely try it when I come up or go over there.
He went exploring this morning. He went on tumble dryer and on freezer and everywhere. I sat here and I saw him in vision at camera. He were having a right good explore. I said, "What are you doing up there?" He never goes up there. Oh. Tastes like chicken. It must be chicken. But yeah, he did. He went having a right good old explore. It's all right to put Chris some carrot cake in a container this morning because he says, done with some sandwiches and everything. So I packed him some sandwiches up. I put him I buy these little trifles, and obviously I put him a slice of carrot cake in like a little tub. Put the empty tub on top of the thing, and Tucker is licking it out, and he says, "Well, even Cat likes your cake because he's licking the thing where the tub that it's been in."
They don't need to wash balls.
He loves it. Yeah, black pudding is already cooked before you use it. It's like basically boiled, isn't it?
Okay, so you're not like actually feeling the pig's blood. It's all like embodied into the.
Yeah, but it's like I'll see if I'll show you a picture. I'll Google it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm a very visual person, so this will be great.
All right, I'm Googling it.
No worries.
She's goggling. She's goggling, Crims.
She's en route to the pudding now.
I mean, it's not. They call it black pudding.
I don't even know why they call it pudding because it's not really a pudding. It's more of a sort of sausage, sort of, but it's.
There you go. Hang on a minute. You see it? That's it.
More to the left. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it does kind of look like a sausage. You're right.
You slice it and then you actually fry it. It's already cooked, but then you actually fry it afterwards, and you don't have it. You don't eat it like that. You cut it and then you fry it in a little bit of oil.
See that? Yeah, that's actually like in its thing where you slice it. Look.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got coating on it, like some of those cheeses, like some of those cheeses you get with a plastic sort of coating, rubbery coating around it, like the smoke. Some of the smoked cheeses.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's just like sacrificial bowl with like blood in it. It's like a soup and you're drinking it cold. No.
Yeah, this is the definition. This is definition.
That's why I said it's this dark.
Chopper says it's off. Right, this is the definition of black pudding. It says black pudding is a type of blood sausage originating in Great Britain and Ireland. It is made from pork blood, pork fat, or beef suet, and a cereal, usually oatmeal, oat groats, or barley groats.
Wow, that has oatmeal in it?
But I mean, if you look on YouTube, there is actually a video of them making black pudding.
I'm actually gonna look that up. I love looking stuff up on YouTube
How
like
It's
that.
Made Black Pudding is the title of the YouTube video. You see haggis as well. It says haggis is a savoury pudding containing sheep's pluck, whatever that is, minced with onion, oatmeal, suet, spices and salt mixed with stock and cooked while traditionally encased in the animal's stomach, though now often is an artificial casing instead. It says main ingredients, and this is haggis, not black pudding: sheep's heart, liver and lungs and stomach or sausage casing, onion, oatmeal, suet and spices. That's haggis. So that's not much cleverer than black pudding either. But yeah.
You got the stock and everything going on with that. That sounds like it's going to be a good dish.
Yeah, even Nick's put the recipe in: 4 cups of fresh pig's blood, 2.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 cups of steel cut pine head oatmeal, 2 cups of finely diced pork fat or beef suet, finely chopped, 1 large yellow onion, finely chopped, a cup of milk, 1.5 teaspoons of freshly ground black pepper, and a teaspoon of ground allspice. Yeah, so I don't like either haggis or black pudding. And haggis varies from different regions, but it derives from Scotland, basically. Haggis does.
No, that's awesome. I got like a history lesson today. No, I appreciate it. Like, I love learning this kind of stuff.
But yeah,
we have maple syrup in Canada.
Well, we
get those from
syrup here.
You got to try like Canadian maple syrup though.
But yeah, like Nick says, I mean, black pudding and haggis are an acquired taste. Now, I don't.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I don't wish to acquire it because I know what goes into it. So,
tastes like chicken.
I don't know, but black pudding.
I'm going to assume that it tastes like chicken, like from like a really like savory type. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't fancy either. I mean, even though haggis is like mince and whatever. And he says, do I like faggots? I've got, it's one of them things I've got to fancy. You know what I mean? I can't say that I'd eat them every day at week or things like that, but sort of, you know.
Sorry, what's it called?
Brains faggots. Well, Brains make them. The faggots, they like meatball type of things.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I mean, I ain't had any for years. But they're, how can I explain them? They're more meaty than anything, the Brains faggots. You know what I mean? But there again, you know, they are, to me, very spicy, and I'm not.
Could you have them with like pasta?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Served in gravy. I'll just I've got to keep getting Google.
Oh, if they're served in gravy, definitely not with pasta.
Well, you could have them with pasta.
I'd eat them with pasta or rice.
Because I picture them to be like a big meatball.
Well, basically that they Mr. Brains faggots, they are like a meatball.
Just a little more to the left. I can't really see. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I see it now. That's awesome.
Yeah, normally you have faggots, peas and chips. FP flyer. But yeah, I mean, Benny's wanting to come in. It says faggots, meatball.
Barry!
Hi, Barry.
Barry!
The definition
Barry.
of a faggot is meatballs made from mince offcuts and offal, especially pork together with herbs or flavouring and sometimes added breadcrumbs, are a traditional dish in the UK, especially South and Mid Wales and the English Midlands. So yeah, so no, when we're talking about faggots, Barry, we're talking about the meatball type.
It's good you clarified.
Yeah, just to
That
clarify.
still sounds a bit iffy when you say the meatball
Yeah,
side.
just to clarify it, the faggots that we're talking about are the
Actual food.
the food type.
Edible ones. Edible ones.
Yeah, edible
edible.
ones.
You know, I wanted to say something about it, but I was just kind of like, should I?
But yes, that is like the UK definition of a faggot. It's a meatball.
now that we brought it up, I see what you mean.
But yes, that is it. Basically, the
Hi, Lucy.
Hiya, Lucy. How are you?
Hello, Lucy. Hello.
And basically,
Hello, Lucy.
wondering why that was held for review, because I've got my settings as it holds them for review if it's inappropriate or what they deem to be inappropriate. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, so anything in comments, it's deemed inappropriate, so just be careful.
Yes, so basically, I mean, but it's how I've got my my settings. How I've set my settings, if you know what I mean. Anything that that is deemed inappropriate, it holds for review. It says I can't help myself from laughing every time I heard the word faggots. But you see, same as I say, Brains is the well-known brand of faggots. They were renowned for making. That's basically all they do. Well, they don't just do faggots; they do other things, but that's what they're famous for. You know what I mean?
They ventured out.
Well, I don't know whether they do other things other than faggots, but I've always known the brand Brains Faggots. You know what I mean? It's basically that the people that are well known for making them. Oh, Lucy says she's got a box in a freezer.
Oh, are we
She's like, I got some right. She's like, I got some right now. Do you guys want me to cook some?
But you see,
I'll make a YouTube video on it.
You see, same as I've said, I've not had any in years. The Iceland own brand is the same as Brains. Oh, there you go. So if you want a cheaper version, go to Iceland. So there you go. But you see, it's not something.
Is it Iceland's the one that's covered with ice, or is it Greenland?
No, I was talking about the freezer shop place called Iceland. It's like a supermarket, but they tend to, deal with like mostly frozen stuff. That's why it's called Iceland.
Okay, we have stuff like that. It's called yeah, we have different names for it.
Oh, my mum likes Lucy says her mum likes chitterlings. Well, you see, Nick's the expert on that, but I mean, I don't even know what chitterlings is, but hey ho. Yeah, well, you see as well, Nick, like when you go to Asda and things like that, and you buy their smart price stuff, the cheaper version, it's all made in the same factory. It's just that it's in a cheaper, like, packaging, let's say. So it's still the same thing, but packaged cheaper.
Oh, I see.
Chitterlings are pig's intestines. No, thank you. Yeah, and Barry says it's a supermarket chain that deal in frozen food. But yeah, that's about the measure of it. They do other stuff besides frozen stuff, you know, but they tend to mainly, you know. Boris says, give me some pie and mash any time.
Exactly. Steak in it.
That's pretty cool. You guys have like a cuisine. Like I thought it was just like a couple dishes, like from what I've learned, you know, like and stuff. Like,
Lucy,
but you guys have like a whole bunch of dishes. That's awesome.
Lucy says she likes in lots of vinegar, but you see, my grandma used to have ox tongue and tripe and all this crap. You know, it just used to turn my stomach watching her eat it. But that was my grandma. You know, I mean, they used to eat that sort of thing in them days.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Emily's back.
Ha, bonjour. How are you?
All right, we're just on about chitlins and I've been showing crimson black pudding and haggis and.
So is Daddy gone now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having a like complete lesson here.
Did you see my comment in the chat?
Give me curried beef pie and mushy. I think it means peas.
I'm not going to repeat the comment because.
And Equinox Nick has put sweetbreads. Do you know what sweetbreads are? I do.
Bread that's sweet.
Oh,
no.
Close yourself to me.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Well, the man parts of an animal.
Oh my! Wow.
That's what sweetbreads are.
Oh, guys, you should have saw my reaction to that. Wow.
Well, you understood the bit about the man parts, but they're not the man parts of an animal, if you know what I mean. And Mary's asking what Yorkshire pudding is. It's basically something, well, in Yorkshire, proper Yorkshire people have it as a starter. And it's made like from a batter, you know, like the batter of a pancake or something like that. Right. Google again.
Google. Good old Google.
Yeah. Right. Basically, Mary, that is, can you see it? That is a Yorkshire pudding.
Yes.
That is a Yorkshire pudding.
Hiya.
But it's basically made with the same batter as you'd make pancakes with, but it's we have it with Sunday lunch, but proper Yorkshire people have a big one, a whole big one,
Snobs.
with a filling in it, and they have it as a starter, and they don't have it on the Sunday lunch.
Snobs. Hot people.
Yeah, Chopper says the sweetbreads they call bush oysters, and Nick says basically sheep's bollocks. Yeah, but I put it in more politely way.
Ew.
You know, the man bits.
The dog's bollocks.
I'm getting worried on how Nick knows all this stuff about sheep.
It's Barry says Korean meatballs. They're the dog's hotsits. and Emily sat there going whoop whoop. But yeah, Yorkshire pudding, that's another thing. I mean, like, unless you're British, every British person likes Yorkshire pudding. They've not got they're not sweet. Yeah, we class them as like an accompaniment to a Sunday lunch, or a, when you're having a roast, let's say.
A roast.
Yeah, like okay. we have a Sunday roast, and you have we either have pork or chicken. Sometimes we have beef. Sometimes we have lamb, but it's not very often.
Roast tatties.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Vegetables.
Lovely gravy.
And a Yorkshire pudding with lots of gravy on it. Now, as I was just saying, proper Yorkshire people, or some proper Yorkshire people, they have a big Yorkshire pudding with a filling as a starter, but don't have it with a Sunday lunch.
Oh, okay.
And the best thing for a Yorkshire pudding, the best thing about a Yorkshire pudding is don't have it with your main course, have it afterwards for pudding with golden syrup.
Oh, that's
Yorkshire pudding with golden syrup.
But Choppers has just said bush oysters are balls in beer batter.
Hey, at least it's in batter. I can deal with the batter.
Mary says, so it's like a roll, not really. It's basically flour, water, I don't know what else, but the aim to pudding is beat plenty of air. And I say this, but I've never got my Yorkshire puddings to rise. That is one thing that defeats me. I've never got my Yorkshire puddings to rise, but it's basically in your bunting, you put in each individual oil, and you put it in the oven, and the hotter the oil, apparently the better they rise.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Would you like to make any comment on that, anyone?
Ding dong, Avon calling.
Is that microphone that makes kind of like an echoey effect, like from back in the day?
And Barry says he loves them. I normally leave them till last and mop up the gravy with them. Yeah, it's same batter as you use as toad in the hole. It's on the same concept, except you put the batter around the sausages. So yeah, but it's basically and Nick says, if I was always brought up, if it had fur, feathers or swam, you could eat it.
Exactly. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of different types of food today. No, like I don't know, like when I'm thinking, like, what should I try when I come to like the UK? But
you see, the thing is, yeah, there's an art to Yorkshire puddings, but I've never been able to get my. Oh, Emily's got a package as well.
That's for me. She said for me.
But yeah, it's the art is the fat in the tins has got to be really hot, and you've got to beat a lot of air into it to make them rise, basically.
Oh.
We don't know. We don't want to know your nocturnal goings on, Barry.
What did Barry say?
He says, I normally put batter around my sausage.
I always thought it were a bit battered.
That is too much information.
Yes. Equinox says we're so
the berry batter.
We're so used to processed foods these days. A lot of old food is disappearing. I agree with you there, Nick. And Ian says I normally batter my sausage. Well, that's another thing we don't need to know, Ian. But yeah, I mean, like same as I was saying, my grandma used to eat ox tongue and tripe and things like that. I mean, to me, it never appealed to me. But
exactly.
You know, it's one of these things where it's an acquired taste, and I suppose in olden days, you know, it were a staple part of the diet. You know what I mean?
Growing up, like my dad never really knew how to cook. Like he's not a proper chef. He's like a single dad. So it was like I really had like stuff from like the fridge and like, you know, grocery stores and the freezers. So like to have like a home cooked meal, I always like appreciated it. You know what I mean? Like when we would have like Sunday dinner or whatever, like he would actually try, even though it sucked. Like it was still good, you know. But I love seeing like really good food being made.
Yeah, Nick says
Sure.
there was a program called Kill It, Cook It and Eat It, where it went through the process from the slaughter to the table. But you see,
Yeah.
the thing is, when I were at school as well, I don't know what you call the lesson nowadays, but it basically, they were showing you how to slaughter chickens, you know, how to kill them.
Really?
You know what I mean? You know, and they actually did it in front of us, like killed a chicken in front of us to show us how to kill a chicken humanely. And then they sort of took us to the slaughterhouse to show how the sheep and the cows and the pigs are all slaughtered.
Like how old? Again, how old were you?
I'm probably about 12, 13, something like that.
Wow.
You know,
Like what was your like initial reaction to that?
I mean, it's like
Were you mortified?
it is a shock to the system because it's showing you like stunning them. You know,
Yeah.
the stun gun, it's like a bolt thing, where they stun them first. And then like it all depends on, I think the sheep, they like put these tongue things on them and give them an electric shock. Yeah, they took us to the slaughterhouse, Barry, and in one of the lessons, they got this chicken, and they even shown us how to humanely kill a chicken. And it's basically you put your thumb behind its neck and snap its neck.
They took her to the. They took Jeanette to the abattoir.
Yes,
That's
they
what
took
they
me
call
to
it.
the,
It's an abattoir.
yeah, well, slaughterhouse, abattoir, you know, and obviously there were pigs, there were cows, there were sheep coming through, and basically
the back of the vets. You know, it's the vet. You know, they take them to the vet, and then they just take them out the back. And it might be part of the Chinese takeaway as well. Just be careful. You know, it might.
Yeah,
be,
I agree.
you know.
But yeah, I mean that has stuck with me for years. Actually taking us to the abattoir, to the slaughterhouse where they kill you know, and it were like, you know, they basically took you in and shown you right from, you know, hi Tamboki. But yeah, I mean, it sort of went through the process of, you know, where they giving them the humane bolt gun thing to slit in the throats and everything. You know, it were really, and they didn't hold back. They just, you know, you basically got to stand there while they were doing this.
And like nowadays they wouldn't allow that. Like they wouldn't have that in school because, you know, like given the situations of how kids are.
You know, but same as Midnight Raven says, it makes you want to be a vegetarian. But I mean, if you
I
mean, even though I went to the
I
abattoir,
love my chicken.
you know, I've sort of seen them killing chickens. I've seen them killing sheep and cattle. It didn't put me off to the extent where I wanted to be a vegetarian, if you know what I mean. But, you know, you've got to imagine that at a slaughterhouse, they do it as humanely as possible. Supposedly.
Yeah. Like you want to hope that they're killed, like, you know, like that. But I know that's not the case with like veal.
I think that the lesson that they was trying to teach us was like the food chain, let's say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It tried to teach you.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You know,
Yeah, like kind of like the circle of life kind of thing.
You know, from being calves and to fattening them up, and then from when they get to a certain weight or a certain size, then they're sent to the abattoir. But that is the farmer's lifestyle, or that is his bread and butter, the farmer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because obviously he sells the cattle or the, you know, or the sheep or the pigs to the abattoir to so he can carry on the chain.
I thought it was just kind of like a field trip just for a field trip. Like you guys are just going to the slaughterhouse. But like, yeah, like if you're learning about like, you know, that, no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It were basically, they were learning you about the food chain. You know, when you go to supermarket, let's say you buy a chicken, it's got no feathers on, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barry says all he learnt at school was how to snog girls behind the bike sheds. And Nick says all smoke bar reviews, and he says never did that, Nick, because the teacher would steal a fag off you.
I was a good kid in school. I got good grades.
You know, but I think the thing that they tried to teach us was, so you know, when you go into the supermarket, you see a joint of beef or a joint of pork. To you, that's just a joint of pork or a joint of beef. But the lesson that they were trying to teach us was how that got into your supermarket.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the realest way of showing it for sure. Who's that?
Have a guess. Go on.
That's you.
That's me.
Oh, got really, really blonde hair there.
I was like 3.
What do you What were you looking at in the photo? You were like really looking at something intensely.
I have no idea.
Well, you see, funny thing is as well, Chris told me that when he was younger, he'd got similar colour hair to that. Chris will like that.
Really?
But you see another thing. I mean, let's sort of go on to the flip side of the coin. When they've got air coursing, you know, I am strongly against air coursing, hunting for a hare just for the sake of it, using a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's to me, it's just for the dog owners, it's just the thrill of the chase. I mean, I've seen programs where they've done air coursing and everything, and they just stand there while the dogs rip the hair shreds, and then once they've ripped it to shreds, that's it. They just leave it. You know, to me, that is not a sport.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Like, you know, like when they're shooting like animals like in the head with like a gun. I know it's like a quick and painless death, but I understand. It's like,
yeah. And I mean, Ravens just said fox hunting. I mean, you know, that's the saying. You know, you get people on horseback with a pack of wild dogs chasing a fox just for the sake of it, just for the fun of it. To me, I don't like that.
yeah, exactly. No, Ian just sent me something. DJ Ian.
I got it.
All right, Barry's just said I'm hunting for hair, all mine's falling out.
Good. Well played, Ian.
and Nick says he always ate the rabbit I killed unless it was bad. But this is the thing, you're not doing it just for the sport of hunting it and then sort of kicking it to the curb once you've, you know, once the hunt's over, you know what I mean?
But what about like if you're fishing, right, and like you let the fish go back in the water and it's okay after? Is that still like, would you like, what are your views on that?
Well, I mean, to me, I mean, I prefer them to put the fish back.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
if you're going fishing, and same as Chopper says, I never kill anything I'm not prepared to eat. If it's to put food on the table,
So,
then
what if you stand on a spider? What if you kill a spider or a foos?
I karate. Well, yeah.
You know how I see it. I'm like the spiders in my territory. It's like anything I can do to it, it's in my like house. It's like
but yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, it's just that the idea of a pack of dogs hunting like a fox or a rabbit just for sport. You know that
I don't agree with people fishing house and fishing stuff and then throwing it back in, because you know sometimes it kills it, sometimes it doesn't.
But you
exactly.
know, it's to me, dogs chasing after a hare just for its sake on it is not my idea of a sport, or fox hunting for that matter. It's just for the thrill,
Exactly.
the chase in my eyes. You know, it's just for the thrill of the chase.
Exactly.
Nick says Barry's view is if I draw a couple of rabbits on your forehead from a distance, it will look like a receding hairline.
Hello, that's my piano.
Well, that it's boss man.
Had to do that.
But yeah, I mean, but that's just my opinion. I mean, you know, you've got different people that have got different opinions, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, it's to me, it's not sport. End of. Well, this is sending all the men pictures, but he says I'll send it Nick. I think he'd enjoy it.
I think you should send it to Jeanette. Huh. I think she would have a laugh at it.
But yeah, but we've gone through a whole range of subjects this morning. We got onto about meatballs, and I don't approve.
I got a history lesson on the cuisine of Britain.
Same as Nick says, I don't approve of fox hunting or chasing animals for fun, but we do need to maintain the population level. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's a thing saying that like there's too many badgers in the population, you know, and that they need to be culled because of a disease, spreading disease and whatever. But I mean, there's that's another thing. You've got like badger bait, what they call badger baiting. It's basically sending dogs down a rabbit hole or a hole where they think badgers are, flushing the badger out, and then they bash it over head with a shovel. You know what I mean? And that is what we call in the UK badger baiting, because they're baiting the badger, and as soon as it comes out the hole, bash it over head with, you know, with a shovel.
Yeah, like tricking it out of its hole.
It says Nick's gone quiet. He may be enjoying this, but yeah, I understand. You know that you know it in some way they do need to be, but I think they have to do it humanely. You know, but rather than, you know, sort of sending dogs down a hole to make them come out of a hole and bashing them over head with a shovel. You know what I mean? I think everything done within moderation and on a humane level.
What if instead of like guns, they use like tranquilizers and then they set it free after?
Yeah, but
and, like, you know, like
what they're saying by culling, it means cutting the population down of badgers.
Yeah,
because
they can get in. They can get into other things and stuff and wreck stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Well, what it is, it's basically, I mean, like, there is a lot of badgers, and what they say by culling, it means
reducing the numbers.
Yeah, reducing the numbers of badgers, but there's got to be.
Why can't they do it with chavs and?
all these teenage mums that's getting pregnant, yeah.
And Emmy's what? Who said that?
You don't want to be cold.
No.
But you know what I mean? It's like everything else. I mean, it's there's a humane way of doing it, and then there's like a sport way of doing it, which I think's wrong. Barry says, sounds like a plan, Adam.
Yeah.
Call the chavs. But
that's our new collab. We gotta get rid of the chavs.
But you see, I mean, it's like a lot in this country. You're getting the young girls getting pregnant at whatever age, never going to work because they think that they've got a baby, that the council are going to give them a council ass, you know.
And here's me, I can't get anything, even though I'm trying to better myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I understand. We have that in Canada too. Like there's some people that'll be like, you know, like with welfare and, you know, like getting money from the government, and they'll still live off of it even though they don't need it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like all too often these days. Let's say the job centre sends other things saying, "Oh, you've got to come in for an interview. You've got to be seen to be looking for work." More often than not, they'll turn around to them at the job centre and say, "Well, why should I work? I'm all right as I am, not going to work. So why should I?"
Right, some. Try this.
I think that's why they give like, you know, like just the necessities. They don't give like extra spending money because they want you to, like, you know, go out and like better yourself.
Yeah. Well, you see, nowadays, I mean, it's like they get pregnant at 14 and 15.
Yeah.
They expect the council to give them a place to live. They expect them to pay the council tax, pay them the benefits, child benefits, tax credits. So why would they want to go to work?
Exactly.
Well,
win the lottery.
But you do the lottery though, Emily.
Yeah, well, my dad does. But,
yeah, but he's not going to give you money from the lottery, is he?
You know, my nephew Braden, like, he was born, like, his mom had Braden at the age of 17. And, you know, like, with the support of my family and her family, and she went back to school too, and she's a support worker now, and like she's doing well.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, you've got the people that, yeah, I admit I made a mistake. I got pregnant. Well, I'm not talking personally, but
yeah,
you know, yeah, I made a mistake. I got pregnant and I shouldn't have done. But I'm going to better myself. I'm going to go back to college or go back to school to better myself. So
yeah,
that's a good example for the children.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like there are some like teenage moms that will turn their lives around, but you know, it's more so than none. You know.
Yeah, it's a very rare occasion that they do. Barry says they have their brand new cars and new clothes. It gets on me. It does mine. It really grates on me. I mean, you know, it's the case of the matter is that Chris is going out to work when all said and done, because of the benefits I get, he could become my carer.
That's it.
But he chooses. He chooses to go out to work rather than
because he doesn't want to be around Jeanette all day. That's why.
That's not to get every day.
But you know what I mean? Rather than sort of say, well, I could get this if I were Jeanette's carer, or I could get that if I were Jeanette's carer. he still chooses to go to work and earn a living rather than depend on the state for handouts.
Exactly. That shows what kind of person Chris is. Like, you know, like he's a hard worker. He works hard for the money.
Well, this is it. He's sitting. He's on his dinner break at the moment, Barry. So that's why he's sitting doing nothing. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, dinner without getting told off.
Are they getting onto you, baby?
I know. I'm just sat there minding my own.
But but yeah, you can't do nothing without getting told off. Who's outside?
Me.
Where are you going, Emily?
The post office.
Yeah, Nick says it's about self-worth and morals. But you see, same as I say, Chris said, same as he said to me, if I were to sit at home all day, it'd drive me nuts. He likes to be out there, he likes to be out working, he likes to keep himself busy. Even though, like this week, because it's his first week back, he's been rushed off his feet. You know, when it says, like, basically, my feet's not touched the ground this week. You know, it's been that busy. Oh. So, you know, but, you know, when all's said and done, I mean, we could milk the system for all it's worth. Choose not to.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, but you're the good person, Mrs. P. You're like, you know. God damn.
Are you on your way to work then, Emily?
He's not
No,
working
post
today.
office.
She's going to the post office.
Oh.
For a certain somebody.
She has to go and mail herself to me.
Yeah, because that's gonna
What are you mailing him? Oh my.
Oh, it's a surprise. He'll have to do an unboxing of it.
You know, going back to this about, you know, but this is what gets me so mad. I mean, he could pack up work, look after me full time, blah, blah, blah. It chooses to go out to work. Yet, you know, when he had the cellulitis, he had to jump through hoops and everything to get £70-something a week in sick pay.
You get £2.50 to back it at Chris every week.
Yeah. You know, and it was off.
Can I say, you know, when I was off with my knee, because I didn't work enough, I didn't get sick pay.
No.
But this is the thing. I mean, same as Chris says, he's worked all his life. He's paid his national insurance. He's paid his tax and everything, and he's never ever been out of work. But the fact of the matter is, when such as him wants something back off the system, they umming and ahhing and this, that, and other, and think that you're doing the year a favour. We're giving you £70-something a week. And expect a family of 3 to live on £70 a week.
That's going to work.
Yeah. But it is. It's a system. It's all wrong.
Of course
it
is.
Barry says his feet haven't touched the ground. Is he on Red Bull again? I think what he's done with some of that this week has been absolutely cream crackered all week.
Whoa, I'm going on a bus now.
Well, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to shut it down because it's just gone 12:30.
Yep.
So I've got stuff to do.
Join the club.
Hey?
Join the club. I've got stuff to do.
I gotta start making your questions for later.
Nick says kids taking the piss is a sore subject with me and me as well, Nick.
We can do another live stream about that another day.
Yeah, Barry says you're going to have to send
That's a whole new can of worms for a live stream.
TMI, Barry says I need a wee.
I need a way. I need a way.
Hopefully, Crimson, everybody will tune in later when you're doing the interview. You'll have to.
Yeah, it'll be in the next couple hours for sure. If
okay,
that's okay with. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
So I'll see everyone later.
Bye.
Bye, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bye, Emily.
Bye,
Oh.
Adam.
Chopper says he's off to a swap meet tomorrow, so it's only 2 hours away. See you, Ian and Barry.
And everyone in chat.
I'm laughing at Barry. He says I could have said I wanted a dump.
Wow.
So
I know he had one chance. He had one chance. He could have said it.
So I'll see everybody on Monday. So bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.